So, about the spy.
Make no mistake, there's cutthroat rivalry between nations in the space R&D race.
Ah, yeah. I remember in college being talked, or that being talked about during, like, a space part of, a space subject, pretty much, and how the Hubble telescope would, well, how Russia was always trying to, like, on top of the US in the space program, but then the US actually sent someone to space and ended up being the first shuttle to actually survive in space and land on the moon, while Russia could never get that down. So, yeah. And to this day, that's pretty much why, like, I think it was like science fiction movies where, let me just go on a little bit of a tangent. Science fiction movies where they went into space, like those movies that came out like so long ago, that's what pretty much inspired the space race, and that's what pretty much made technology go so far back then. That's pretty much what I learned. Like, that's just a little short story bit that I learned back in college, like last semester pretty much.
Some try to outdo others by any means possible, even deliberate obstruction. 7 years ago.
I keep hearing 7 years ago, and it's funny. It's like,
7 long, glorious, shaky years ago. Har. We got a call before the launch, warning us of sabotage.
the same MO as this time.
Yes! And here I thought the perpetrator had been caught, but it looks like I was wrong.
Prosecutor Blackwell seems more like a ninja than a spy, don't you think? In my opinion, he's more like a samurai. If you're gonna ask me, like a Samurai Jack sort of thing going for him. Aren't ninjas and spies basically the same thing? Yeah, putting it that way, yeah, I can see where you're talking about. But still, more of a samurai in my opinion.
But there's a good reason we failed to find the real spy. A massive cover-up by the government. Government officials were too embarrassed to admit it. That they had allowed such a thing to happen at the hands of a spy.
Don't tell me they made the police rush the investigation. Well, whenever... it's like in the movies, whenever the government screws up, they usually try to do a cover-up thing, so yeah, I could see that happening.
They did indeed. And then, to cover up the sabotage, they cleaned up the story.
And that was the Hat One miracle, wasn't it? But then, 7 years later, the same MO. Advanced warning of sabotage. Advanced warning of sabotage. That must have been the director's reason for switching the launch pads. Just like 7 long years ago. 7 years ago. Now I know what that... Now, whenever I hear 7 years ago, it reminds me of 7 years ago, yeah. Or however that goes with Abraham Lincoln. 7 years ago. The spy gave you advance warning of their plans, just like this time. That was what made you decide to switch the launch pads, wasn't it?
That's right. The caller knew the facts of the case 7 years ago, despite the cover-up.
Yeah, I could see something like that. And I could see why your hands are tied, too.
They knew about the sabotage, the moon rock, the murder. And they said, you don't want things to go like they did 7 years ago, do you? I immediately thought of calling off the launch, but the government wouldn't let me. We don't give in to the likes of terrorists. We must proceed for our country's honor.
That sounds a bit right.
It was quite a moving speech, actually.
Yeah, but still. I think we should try to find the culprit. Like, stat. Just putting that out there. Moving? Really? Maybe if you're easily inspired by political talking points.
But I knew the truth. We had been warned, which meant the danger was very real. And I knew there was no way to stop the spy. No matter what I did, they would find a way. That's why I switched the launch pads and staged the moving rescue scene.
Alright, so...
First, I snuck into the center the night before and switched the launch pads. That way, the astronauts would go from boarding lounge 1 to the Space Museum. Then I put a closed for repairs sign at the door to launch pad 1 and boarding lounge 2.
You did that so normal visitors wouldn't enter, right? What else did you do?
I enlisted the help of several staff members, including Terran.
But you didn't let Mr. Starbuck in on it? Before he explains, I can take a guess. He didn't let Mr. Starbuck know because pretty much how would you feel if the same incident that happened 7 years ago was happening now? And you were on this freaking shuttle that was going to be lifted off with a terrorist threat. How does that make you feel? I mean, Terran had an excuse. He wasn't on that shuttle. Freaking Starbuck, he would have been freaking out, man.
He'd already been through enough, and he's no good at lying to keep a secret.
Oh, well, besides he'd already been through enough. He's no good at lying to keep a secret part's kind of funny.
I'm afraid I had no choice but to have him drugged. My plan went well. Until...
It's kind of funny, though, because the whole entire Space Center was in on it, pretty much. Clay's murder, huh?
After the culprit made their escape, I switched the launch pads back. I did it in such a way that no one would find out. But after all that effort, Terran is dead, and the Hat 2 is destroyed! And the Hope capsule, which had returned to us only recently, was also lost in the blast!
What?
My home! The center of the cosmos! My beautiful Cosmos Space Center is done for!
Wait, what did he mean by the Hope capsule was lost in the blast? Question, real quick question. What the hell is this then? Like, dude, what's this?
Mankind's crowning achievement. The Hat 1 mission will be in textbooks across the land.
Wow, that historic, huh?
My achievements are grand enough to rival the birth of space itself. My life will be a legend that will be told millions of years into the future. You may proceed to admire and praise me now.
You certainly are an amazing piece of work. What the hell does that have to do with anything? I thought that the Hope capsule was found at the crime scene with Mr. Terran. It had just been brought back by the Hope space probe with asteroid samples inside. So what kind of samples are they? What's in them?
The samples are scheduled for analysis in the near future. We haven't had time since they just came back the day before Terran's murder. The capsule was being held in a safe in Launchpad 1. But I gave it to Terran before the incident so it wouldn't be destroyed in the explosion. The idea was that, with it safely in Terran's possession, he could make it look like he rescued it during the staged, miraculous escape. But our precious research materials ended up lost to that explosion anyway.
What? Are you serious? But I thought Clay was supposed to keep it safe.
You misunderstand. The launchpad explosion wasn't the one the capsule was lost to.
Oh, crap.
It was lost after the police confiscated it as evidence.
What? You're complaining that it was confiscated for evidence? As soon as the trial's over, then you can get your materials back.
It was...
Oh, crap. Damn it, Ted. Freaking hate Ted, even more now. Ted is the freaking base of pretty much almost all this crap going on here. God dang, man.
It was the courtroom bombing from the other day. The capsule was there in the courtroom as evidence and was blown to smithereens.
God dang it, Ted. Yet another casualty of that blast. Thank you, Mr. Ted.
Ultimately, I think the culprit may have known about the switching of the launch pads.
What? How?
The police found a wire-tapping device during the investigation today.
Oh?
A bug aboard my battleship. A tap on my advanced communications system.
A wire on that phone?
Yes! A wire on this very phone. I used this phone to give instructions to my staff about the launchpad switch.
The funny thing is, I remember... I don't remember too much, but I think my family's been in, like, way back, like, 90s or even earlier than that. I feel like before I was born sort of thing. I feel like my family's been involved in a wiretap situation before. Like, cause my mom and dad were in such a horrible, like, situation before I was born because of my mom's ex sort of thing going on. So, I mean, wiretapping is serious business and very illegal.
Just to the few select members who knew about the plan. Just before the incident, staff members were coming in and out of Launchpad 1. The culprit probably slipped in with them amid the confusion.
And planted the bomb then. Yes, If they were tapping your phone, they definitely could have pulled off something like that. So you really think the same spy is behind this incident and the one 7 years ago?
Yes! I'm sure of it!
Then the spy must be the phantom Prosecutor Blackwell has been chasing. And that is why, Blackwell is, like, really on to wanting to get this phantom so much, because if he can catch the phantom, it'll prove his innocence. But come on, Mr. Starbuck being the phantom, that's... Why the hell would he want to blow himself up in, Space in the Hat 1 incident? Come on! That's freaking stupid. But Prosecutor Blackwell told me once. The hunt I've been on for the phantom of 7 years past continues even still. For starters, that case happened right here, at this very Space Center too. So, if we can find this phantom... That's right, we can clear Athena's name. And also Blackwell, when you think about it. And then there's the matter of Prosecutor Blackwell, too. What about him? Well, if the culprit from 7 years ago is the same person as in the current event incident, it would mean Prosecutor Blackwell is innocent. That's still an if, though. I wonder how dangerous that guy would be in court without his handcuffs. But if we're going on a ghost hunt, count me in!
Hee. Ha 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 ha! It's all over for me! Arr!
Is it because you just blew the cover-up story? Well... yeah, that might be over for you, but, if we can find the culprit, and, I mean, if he's gotta be around somewhere, and, if we can prove that, it shouldn't be over for you when you come to think about it.
Spin, whirl, I'm done for! The center of the cosmos is doomed!
Do you think he's going to be alright, Daddy? Well, at least he'll be in good company. There must be planets out there he can spin with. Oh, that's good. Which reminds me, I'd like to delve a little deeper into the Hat 1 mission, too.
If you want to learn more, start with the Space Museum. There's a Hat 1 exhibit there. Oh, don't mind me. I'll just keep spinning here and see how the cosmos unfolds. Har 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 har.
It's like he achieved spiritual enlightenment or something. Or he just went completely insane. I'm sure he'll stop when he gets dizzy. Let's go to the Space Museum. Wow, this is funny to watch. Especially with the birds tweeting in the air. Like, what happens if I try to talk to him? The reason why Director Cosmos won't talk about why he switched the launch pads is connected to the truth behind the Hat 1 miracle. The sabotage and the murder happened at the Space Center 7 years ago. Director Cosmos, tell me what you're hiding. Oh, I'm just gonna stop. Oh crap, he's gonna go... Oh no! No, no, no! I don't want to go into... Oh no! We already know this crap! God dang it. Okay, about 10 minutes later, I was just checking some emails. Checking my one video that I made that was my Easter update video. And yeah, Responding and fixing links, too. Yeah. Uploader's job is never done sometimes. But, yeah. Just don't do that or he'll stop spinning. And then he'll see the light. Let's visit the Space Museum. Because, why not? That's where we're supposed to go. Yep. Let's see. Where's the exhibit on the launch 7 years ago? There. That's the Hat 1 exhibit. Oh, wow! Look at that photo of the team! There's Clay, and Mr. Starbuck, Director Cosmos, or Blackwell, and even Ponko. But I've never seen the woman on the right before. Yeah, never seen Ponko. Could Ponko... Wait. Oh, Ponko is the robot. However, I'm taking a wild guess and saying that lady on the right is the victim of the first murder. Everybody looks so happy. Well, except for Director Cosmos. Well, he's giving a thumbs up, but at the same time you gotta think, was this picture taken after the phone call? Let's check out the newspaper article too. Hat 1 launch imminent, and there's a photo of the space probe, of the Hope space probe. I guess it's only natural it doesn't talk about the murderers or the sabotage. They really were keeping it a secret, just like the director said. Daddy, take a look at that jacket. It must be the Hat 1 team's uniform, the Hat 1 team's uniform jacket. It's the same design as the one Apollo was wearing, the one that belonged to Clay. Actual jacket worn by a Hat 1 team member, it says. Not a replica, huh? I wonder if it was Mr. Starbucks. I wonder. A newspaper clipping, a photo of the newspaper involved with the launch, and a jacket one of them wore.